All right, first day of free agency is done, and we still got the big pieces. Paul George hasn't officially signed with the Sixers. Paul George is the funny guy, bro. I just finished recording my video, and now Woj tweeted free agent Paul George has agreed on a 4-year, $212 million maximum contract for the Philadelphia 76ers. Committed in a meeting with Sixers officials and returns to the East to join Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey in pursuit of an NBA title. I mean, it's just so funny. I was just finished recording the video, and in the video I was talking about, it's basically guaranteed that he's signing or whatever. We don't have the official this and that. Well, as soon as I'm done recording, here it is. Paul George has signed with the 76ers. Now, basically all day we've known this to be true, and here it is officially. I think it's a great fit for Paul and the 76ers, obviously. He hasn't had the greatest couple years with the Clippers. I mean, obviously he's been good, but I feel like Clippers fans have kind of been tired of him. And he's going now to a great situation with the 76ers where he is not the second overall option, bro. Joel Embiid is an MVP. Tyrese Maxey is one of the best young guards in the league. He's going to be the third player there offensively, and I think that's going to be a great place for him. He's not going to be asked to produce every single night, because God knows Clippers fans knows that he sometimes likes to not perform and likes to not play very well offensively. But now with the Sixers, that he can go on the ball, he can play in actions with Joel, with Maxey as the pick and roll or whatever switches. He can play as a spot up shooter, corner, open shooter. He can just be there in the Maxey Joel pick and roll as another scoring threat that defenders will have to look out for. I mean, defensively as well. If he locks in again, he's a great perimeter wing defender. Very big. I mean, big wing. Him and Kawhi were the whole big wing thing. Obviously didn't work out, but now with the Sixers, I think this is a great pickup. And like I say in the rest of the video that you will now get to listen to, they picked up a couple other players, and it is a lot of money for Paul George. It's $212 million over 4 years. That's about $53 million, I think, per year, which is a lot of money for Paul George. I think he's like 32 or 33 or something like that. This is probably his last huge contract. I can't imagine him getting any more than this. Yeah, I mean, the Sixers, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, a great offseason so far for them, and it's only been day one. It's 1:30 a.m. and Paul George is finally officially signed, and now on to with the rest of the video. Klay Thompson is going to move on from the Warriors, but we don't know where yet, so that's going to be interesting to see. But we still got some interesting news to talk about. Most notably, I think, is Chris Paul, who got away from the Warriors and signed a 1-year deal with the Spurs for $11 million. I love this. I think it's great for the Spurs. The entire criticism for the Spurs last year is that they weren't getting Wembanyama the ball and that they weren't running a true point guard. They tried the Jeremy Sohan experience at the point guard position for most of the year. And then they moved to Tyus Jones, I believe. And the whole criticism is that they just weren't getting Wembanyama the ball. And now you're getting him one of the best point guards of all time. Sure, he's really old, but he can still pass the ball, and he will give Wembanyama the ball. And off the court wise, I think the knowledge that Chris Paul has to give to a Stephon Castle, to even Wembanyama, to Jeremy Sohan as a ball handler, Devin Vassell, all of their players, I think his knowledge and his leadership and, being able to treat like this young team who last year, were kind of all over the place sometimes, he's going to come in and be able to, show them a veteran leadership that they haven't really had. And I think as a bridge point guard for a Stephon Castle, or just like, this is a low commitment move from the Spurs. They're not committing to a Trae Young or a Darius Garland, some young guard who already has a lot of money on them. They're committing to an old point guard who is going to give them invaluable skills as a veteran leadership. And they're not putting too much money into this. You know, they still have the flexibility going forward with Wembanyama, and I think it's great. Another really good deal is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope going to the Magic for 3 years, $66 million, and a player option in the last year. A great deal for him, good money for KCP, and a really good pickup for the Magic, who have struggled mightily with the three-point shot, and now they're getting a starter quality shooting guard who shot 40% from three this past season, and was also all defense consideration as a guard. He's a great perimeter defender, and now you get to pair him beside a Jalen Suggs, alongside with their already great defense this past season. I mean, this is going to be a great defensive team, and now they're getting some spacing. Obviously, they need more shooting than just one guy, but this is a great get from them. On the Nuggets side, losing KCP like this and is really bad. They can't just lose these starter guys for nothing. Like, KCP was a huge part of their offense with just being able to make three-pointers, and defensively alongside Jamal Murray and MPJ, who aren't the worst defenders, but obviously KCP was one of the best defenders in the league last season, and you're just losing that guy for nothing. We also got James Harden re-signing for 2 years, $70 million, second year player option. The Clippers as a whole are having a very weird offseason, obviously, with Paul George leaving. Now Harden is re-signing for $35 million a year, and he's just getting older, man. Scoring wise, he had one of his worst years last year. Like, he was still great playmaking wise, but scoring wise, he's just not there anymore, and who knows how he'll be in a year. The Clippers also got Kevin Porter Jr., the abuser who beat his girlfriend and beats women, back in the league. The Clippers gave him a contract for 2 years. He shouldn't even be in the league, so it's just very disappointing that they even gave him this contract. And then staying on the Clippers, they also signed Derrick Jones Jr. on a 3-year, $30 million with the Clippers, which is fine, I guess. I mean, you're getting a good wing replacement for Paul George. Obviously, offensively, he's not going to be anywhere near that. But, you know, you're replacing a wing with another wing. But yeah, the Clippers so far not doing very well this offseason. For the 76ers, obviously, they are going to sign Paul George. We'll talk about that more when it actually does happen. I think the big three of him, Maxey, and Embiid is going to be really good. But they also just got Andre Drummond for 2 years, $10 million. Very good value as a backup center. They also signed Eric Gordon. You know, he got shooting, three-point shooting. It's never a bad thing to have three-point shooting. And the Sixers also re-signed Kelly Oubre Jr. to 2 years, $16 million with a second-year player option. I mean, he was a great player for them. He was basically their third best offensive option last year. And I mean, his three-point shooting is great. He can just go off on some nights. His shot creation is like off the dribble. He can make something happen if they need to. And I mean, this is great value. Very cheap contract for Kelly Oubre. Some other smaller deals. We got Jonas Valanciunas signing 3 years, $30 million with the Wizards. I mean, I think it's good for the Wizards. They just got their rookie big man, Alex Sarr, and they're pairing him up with a veteran big man at this point. And, you know, they can play together. He can learn a little bit from Jonas and whatnot. But I mean, the Wizards are going to be bad next year. So, whatever, I think this is more interesting for the Pelicans, however, because they don't really have a center right now, like at all. So I'm expecting a Brandon Ingram trade in the next coming days, which just kind of seems inevitable at this point. But I'm really thinking they got to trade for a center because they did just draft a center, Yves Missy. I definitely butchered his name. I'm not exactly sure how to say it. He seems like a good, I mean, he's going to be a rookie big man. I don't think they can make him the starter day one. I think they're going to need to sign or trade for somebody else. But in the future, I think he might be good. Mason Plumlee also signed a 1-year deal with the Suns. I know that Clippers fans hate him because he's not really good at all. So it's just very funny that the Suns' biggest move so far is that they now have Mason Plumlee in their center rotation alongside Yusuf Nurkic. So yeah, I'm expecting the Suns' downfall in the next 2 years is basically inevitable at this point. Najee Marshall signed a 3-year, $27 million deal to the Mavericks. They'll be getting a good defender, hustler, enforcer type. Maybe his 3-ball will improve with more open shots from Luka and Kyrie. We'll see. But yeah, overall, I mean, this is the biggest news from day one. There's some other players getting some smaller deals. Kate Cunningham got rookie extension, whatever. But really, a quiet first day, a bit disappointing. But, you know, we'll get Paul George soon. Klay Thompson is going to be very interesting, whatever team gets him. And then the dominoes from a Paul George and Klay signing and whatever other trades teams make. Bruce Brown, Raptors, please do something. But we'll see in the next few days. Hopefully some stuff happens. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for the support. And the last 2 videos have been some of my most successful videos, and we're just trying to keep the momentum going.